We are just going to wait a couple more minutes for people to come on. Happy Thursday, June 23rd, everybody. I am called to just tap the sacred sound of this metal bowl to bring in more power to the solar plexus, this solar plexus bowl. Hello everyone, come step into this beautiful Spirit Speaks portal. I'm just now beginning. So happy to be present. Thank you everybody. Hello, hello, hello. So let's just listen to the sound of the sacred solar plexus metal bowl. And if you haven't opened your heart core portal, please do so now. Just allow yourself to receive the gifts of this conversation of Spirit Speaks to come alive and thrive and enhance your life wherever you are. Here with us live or in the replay. Allow it to move in waves of divine love within you. Now and always, in always. Namaste. Thank you. Hello everyone, I am J Rose. You can find me at J Rose Healing on Instagram. And today is another special live Instagram with what I call Spirit Speaks. Now Spirit Speaks began because as I'm connecting deeper and deeper into this world reality of Earth, I'm finding that we need more tools. We need more individuals connecting in community, speaking about how we are connecting with Spirit. And everyone has their own unique way based on their soul's energy frequency, based on their connection with their heart, based on their experiences here on Earth. And so I invite you today to receive some openings to how people are becoming present in each and every moment. How are you inviting presence of Spirit to come and speak with you? How are you being guided? And how are you serving? How are you offering your gifts to humanity and to the world and beyond? So first, just feel into that. Feel into your heart. Feel into your truth to assist you in your awakening. Everybody's in their own awakening. And when we come together and we bring it all together, it comes into a place of oneness with the great creation as co-creator beings that we are. So Spirit Speaks is here to assist and guide individuals by speaking with others on this platform about how they get connected And maybe it just perks up something within you out of curiosity or wonder and creates more joy for you. That's what it's about. And so a little bit about who is J. Rose Healing. Who is Juliana Rose? Juliana Rose is a multidimensional star light presence, light being. And I've come to this planet to assist in the mass awakening and remembering that individuals are having to the light, to the truth, to source, to our own soul's frequency, soul's family, and to our heart frequencies, and to assist in gridding it into this new earth, fresh, blissful platform that we are creating. And I've been doing this on my journey for 23 years now, learning several different modalities and ways to do this. So it's really time for us to wake up. And I'm so excited today because Jen Post has agreed to come on stage and talk about her experiences and how she has gotten into connection with spirit. So I'm going to read you her bio and then we're going to bring her on the stage. So Jen Post, Reverend Jen Post, is a cosmic goddess BlueStar, known as the Awakener, and is a renowned Earth and Multidimensional guide with gifts that include Reiki Master Teacher, Starseed Galactic Teacher, Spiritual Counselor, IET Angelic Energy Healer, Dimensional Reiki Living Healer, Oracle of the Akashic Records, Past Life Regression, Tarot Card, Soul Plan Chart Reading, Psychic Medium, Ascended Master Starlight Beings that she channels, and she's also a channel for the highlight of Alakali and speaks Starlight language. As a contactee and ambassador for the star races, her connections include the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, Orion, Sirians, Cassiopeans, Lyrans, Vegans, and more. Her role is to anchor galactic light frequencies to the earth realm and assist others in grounding these frequencies into their bodies, guiding them along their path of awakening and ascension. Hi, everybody. In her practice, she integrates all of her abilities and studies to assist you in empowering, healing, and balancing your life, guiding you as you journey back to oneness. So let's bring on Jen Post now. Let's see here. Hi, Jen.
Hello.
Namaste. Thank you for coming on this platform. I'm so happy to see you.
Beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you for that bowl chakra just connection. That was fabulous. Fabulous.
My pleasure. We are one and the same. We have very similar backgrounds. So when I connect with you, it's just like we are back to our original design.
Exactly.
So thank you for that.
Yeah, I think that soul connection, that star connection, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
So Jen, we had just discussed a little bit about why we are starting Spirit Speaks, and you may have heard a little bit about it, but it's really about people who have been in spirit, connecting with spirit in many different ways and being present as a part of that connection. So just give the audience a little bit of taste of How do you stay connected first to your heart?
Well, the journey of moving back into your heart, I think, is what all humans are here to experience. And I've had multiple experiences throughout my life that have afforded more of a heart opening experience. But each day I try to center myself every day through our heart chakra, the anahata, being mindful of how we express ourselves, always choosing higher words of light when I speak. So there's been many tools that I do to help with that, each day. But starting off the day, grounding and centering yourself in your heart is what I always recommend and guide people through my practice to do. Just moving in and telling yourself that you love you, that you love yourself. It is that you forgive yourself and that you love yourself, because we always tend to maybe, judge ourselves, or we talk harsh to ourselves. Maybe we think we make mistakes, and we hold that, and it's just been my journey throughout the last 20 years, as like you had stated. Mine's been like 15 years or so, about really forgiving myself and getting to a place where I love myself for who I am, for what I look like. I know I've shared, and my story of having breast implants, and that to me was my biggest lesson of self-love. So
Yeah.
I'm very open with people about that whole journey of where I was back then when I made that decision. And I don't regret it. I don't regret it, even though I've had a lot of medical issues, and I've not felt well for a long time. But I know that decision had helped me open up my heart to myself. And how could I regret that?
Give the audience a little taste of what it was like to be the Jen before the Jen you are now.
Not the same person at all, right? Very insecure, very jealous, which comes with, being insecure. So
Yeah.
I'm a double Scorpio. So, we have to go through, and I think just everybody honestly has to go with really being true to themselves and seeing their shadows. And when I had made that decision, I came out of a 16-year relationship that really fed into my insecurities, it's part of my soul plan. So when I had made that decision, I was in a completely different place in my life, and I didn't love myself. I always was striving to look good externally without looking internally.
Yeah.
And I thought, I was a gym rat. This is back in the 80s when girls didn't even go into like the weight section in the gym.
I remember those days.
We're dating ourselves, right? But it was that long ago when you saw a girl lifting weights that it was like, what?
Yeah.
But I really just felt like if just broken inside. And that decision, even though I didn't know it then, I thought I was fixing everything. Well, I did think that at that moment, but if I looked good all on the outside, it would fill up the void that I had with it. And I think because, we're star seeds, we're, very connected to the star realm, and we feel a little uncomfortable being in the physical body. At least I know that's been that way for me. And
Oh
really,
yeah,
yeah. And
big
that's,
time.
yeah, it's been that journey of loving being human too. So it's
Yeah.
twofold. It's
Yeah.
twofold, because when you are multidimensional, you're having to embrace your humanness, but also, your multidimensionality. But that, going back to the breast implants, right away I got sick, and it taught me really to tend and listen to my body. And so that's why in my practice, I've really helped people to fall in love with themselves, because I've walked that path of non-love, and talk about separation from source,
Yeah.
separation from your body, and then journeying back to oneness really starts when you work with yourself. And then everything else just falls into place with, connecting to the bigger energies, and unity consciousness, and all of that goes along with this journey back to oneness. We come here, we're born, we become separate from source, or we think we are as we move along. And our journey is really about moving back to that place of knowing that we've never been alone, and that we are source.
Yeah.
And the breast implants was all part of that. It was the fundamental experience that brought me back to myself,
Uh-huh.
a very humbling experience for me. Yeah.
Yeah. For you, it was that. For me, it was family relationships or lack of. So
Wow.
I felt like I was dropped on this planet, like abandoned, like, what am I doing here?
Oh,
It was I had a lot of abandonment issues, a lot of, anger. It's like, God, who's God? I don't know who God is. And I
separate.
had a lot of healing to do with that.
Yeah.
That was a really big thing, and no one else could do it for me. No one else could go through that,
Yeah.
just like you said, that dark place inside that needed to, see the light, see the truth, see the information that is light.
Yeah.
And no one else can make that journey. We could, help each and every individuals like we are,
Support.
but
Yeah.
it's the
And it's,
work of self.
yeah. And it's communication,
Yeah.
and knowing, like, hey, even though, maybe I didn't go through your abandonment scenario, but I abandoned myself, you know,
Yes. Yep.
and it's always like, the way I look at it as, you know, we have friends, right? And we have our soul sisters and brothers, but we forget about us as a friend to
Yep.
ourselves, right?
Yes.
So
Hmm.
it is, and to know through these connections, and this is why I love what you're doing with this platform, because it's giving, people a voice to share and say, hey, yeah, I've gone through, abandonment. I've gone through where I didn't have self-love, and we inspire people, because we're real and we're sharing our authentic, truth of
Yeah.
of what it means to
Yeah.
navigate.
And yeah, it's so, needed right now, because I think everybody's just kind of wandering and not really knowing what's going on, and there's so many control factors going on. And
Yeah.
so I want to move forward. I want to move forward to the now.
Yeah.
And what is different about you now
Mm.
that, is
Much. So much.
that, yeah, exactly. What is your frequency now? What is so different about you now that didn't even recognize it then?
Oh, one, trust to me is everything. Trusting myself, trusting why we are here, trusting in each other, trusting in what is happening on the planet, because it can be for, it's an unsettling time. There's so much change that is happening in every area in the world. And my spiritual journey has really taught me to just trust in this process, that spirit has our back, right? And we're all here moving towards a goal, and that goal is to come back to oneness and into that place. I mean, everything has changed about me. My personality has changed because I trust myself. And I've gone through so much where I was always judged for being, different, or I perceived it that way as well. And yeah, I mean, the journey has its peaks and valleys, right? It's ups and it's down, but it has really taught me to trust and have faith and to believe in myself and to believe in what is happening on a grander scale, and to speak your truth, to be authentic. That is, we're here, we experience polarity. So where I was many years ago was at one end of, polarity, and now, swinging back to, the other with polarity, and just not holding back for who I am in truth. And that is, I think that's what empowers people. That's what I help to empower people when they go through this journey, because you change so much from where you are. And I know you obviously know what that feels like, your whole personality, how you express yourself in every moment. And I want to express myself in every moment, as I explained to my husband, at the highest. I strive to be the highest version of myself in this lifetime. So there you have it.
That gave me chills.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So if you were, everybody has a different definition of what spirit is. What do you see as spirit? What is spirit for you?
Spirit is the universe. It's you, it's me, it's every living thing on this planet, and we're all connected, and we're in this beautiful web of coexisting with one another, and recognizing that you are me and I am you. And that's what spirit, has taught me, to connect to the highest aspect of myself, the highest version that is pure love. To me, that's spirit, not just, a lot of people think it's like ghosts and stuff like that,
Woo woo, kind of the woo woo invisible, you don't know what. Yeah. It's I ask that because every religion has their own way of seeing what spirit is. Every individual even has their own way. People some are connected to nature, some are connected to a universal definition. It's all different. So knowing that we are all one, and all of the definitions are together as one, is really important to understand, because not everybody's going to see it that way, and that's where the separation comes.
I was just going to say that. I mean, way back when, spirit to me was, spirits who crossed over that can communicate with me.
Yeah, me too.
As you evolve and you expand and step into, who you are in that space, then your definition of understanding what spirit is changes. So it goes even along with like the progression of your evolution. you know. So it is, yeah, it's fascinating when you think about it, but it is, it's everything. It's the plants, the trees, the animals, you know, all humans. It's just amazing. Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out to the audience. Hello, everyone from near and far, and all those who are going to be listening to this replay. You are listening to some great wisdom from Jen Post, talking about her experiences with spirit. Jen, the next thing I wanted to ask you is everyone has their own way of communicating with spirit. And I know you have your own special, unique way. Can you share with the audience some of the ways that you communicate with spirit?
Well, yeah, I mean, that started too, you know, our journey when we first start to communicate. You know, we always want to go through, you know, the higher chakras, right? So
Yes, that's
like,
the beginning, right?
yeah,
Hi,
oh, my
everyone.
third eye. And so yeah, so and I was the same way. You fall in those, like, those pitfalls, right? Because everyone's like, the third eye, the third eye, the third eye,
Yes.
and I find too that we always have this goal, but we don't even really understand what this goal is, right? And
Yeah.
my journey of that, and how I started communicating with spirit was always through the avenue of the heart. It comes back to the heart. You have to ground the lower chakras. You know,
Yeah.
everybody forgets about the lower chakras, and they just want to open up their, you know, their third eye and their,
Upper. Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah.
But for me, I only feel like you're going to go so far if, you know, if you're just working on the upper chakras, but it is really about anchoring down your body into the earth, and then going through the heart center. I mean, it goes back to the heart. I mean, that's how I communicate with spirit. I travel inward, and you know, of course, you know, meditation is a must.
Yes.
I teach people because it will teach you to go inward, and then
Mm-hmm.
you can travel, and
Yeah.
then you become multidimensional. And that's where, you know, when I first started connecting to spirit, was like we were saying earlier, it was through the loved ones, and then it went into the angelic realm, and then the
Uh-huh.
ascended master realms, uh,
Yes.
and then the star beings, because I was doing the heart work. The more you heal these aspects within yourself, the lower aspects of, you know, the mind and the body, you know, that, um, the more you can communicate with spirit. So that is, to me, is the key. It's the fundamental key. The more you heal, the more you expand, the more you will connect. So, I mean, there's other things, you know, like I said, you know, you can use divination tools and stuff like that to help, you know, open that up. But it really, you know, meditation, of course, but it really has everything to do with healing the 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 traumas, the pains, you
Yeah.
know, all the shadows. I talk a lot about in my talks, and in my practice, about the shadow aspects. If we don't heal that, you will only get so far in this lifetime, and that.
So let me ask you something. When you do shadow work, who so you have particular guides, right? And when you do your shadow work, how are they? Let's give the audience a little bit of a quick, you know, what is shadow work, and what do the guides do? How do they inform you that, oh, you have something that you need to heal?
Oh,
How is that? You know what I mean?
well,
Because some people don't really know what a healing is
with
when they
shadows.
come to
Okay,
you.
so the way I always, oh wait, there you go. The way I always explain it is that, you know, we have these repeating patterns, right? So
Uh-huh.
the repeating patterns, to me, is the key. It that reveals, for me at least, what my shadows were. So I would always find myself in, you know, a certain, fit of jealousy, and then always what happens, cause and effect. cause and effect from this, arguments would then, take place, and, it just snowballs out of control. So when I started doing my healing work and addressing, it was through meditation that I was able to quiet my mind and really listen to the truth of the matter, and then start addressing, well, why did I say these things? Honestly, Reiki was a huge part of
Yeah,
awakening
me
to,
too.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I teach Reiki, so I tell people
Yeah.
the first level of Reiki is about opening up to yourself. And through those attunements, it helps just to bring the stuff up to your awareness. And
Mm-hmm.
that's really when it started getting, when I entered into seminary school. I went into, interfaith seminary school, and just trusting. Remember, I was saying before, just trusting why I was being guided, not understanding the the bigger picture to why I was entering into seminary school. But part of seminary school was to become Reiki attuned. And just to kind of go back to what you said before, I was deathly afraid of being Reiki attuned. I
Yeah, me
was
too.
so scared. Really?
I had like a shield
Oh,
around me. I felt like I had like armor.
me too. We are so much the same. It's, yeah. My girlfriend was sitting there ready, and I was like, oh my God. Like, I was very terrified, but I had to clear a lot of fear. And
Yeah.
where the shadow really taught me, like, where that fear, it's so layered, where that
Yeah.
fear was coming from, from our upbringing, from how we perceive things, to even past lives, you
Yeah.
know, it's so interconnected and interwoven, and such a layered, answer, with that, about how the shadow self, presents itself, you through some type of maybe trauma, we awaken something that cracks us, the dark night of the soul that just cracks us open. And then having healers, or becoming Reiki attuned and learning how to administer the Reiki healing on yourself to help look at those shadows, to clear away the debris that brings the clarity, to even recognizing, wow, I was really insecure, and I would start arguments because I was feeding into that insecurity, and where my anger or my fear, where it was coming from the
Yeah.
source. I mean, it's the, yeah, it's, you can do, meditations, of course, with shadow work, but there is that part with inside of you that cracks open, and that little glimpse of light that comes through, right? That little pinpoint of light that comes through, and then you start to see. And as you go along and you start addressing, your fears, your insecurities, where your anger is coming from, like you had mentioned, abandonment,
Yeah.
right? That's,
Lots of anger, lots of, my goodness,
and
why me kind of things.
the
God
victim
must hate
mentality.
me, all of that.
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean, exactly. And it's so layered.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
Yeah.
karmic contracts. It's the relationships that we have that are mirroring what we need to heal, right? The shadow within us through our relationships, right? Because every person that's in our, dynamic, husbands, parents, children, they're mirroring back to us the unhealed or unintegrated aspects of ourselves. So
Yeah.
when you start the journey of self-love, that's really where it all comes down to. It comes down to self-love and moving through that whole process of, the lack of self-love that we have. And my decision to get the breast implants many years ago was the moment for me. And it just kind of not snowballed, but it just expanded upon that to where I am today, sitting with you,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you were to give somebody, a tip what would be the tip in connecting with spirit? What would be just a few words? What is that one tip? Huh?
Nature.
Nature. Yes.
Nature
Yes.
is is it. You know, going outside and just being present and knowing that you are coexisting with the plants and the trees and sitting on the ground and feeling, you know, the earth and knowing that you're part of that vibration, um, is a wonderful thing to do to help with that beginning stages of just grounding the body and just tuning in and listening to the body. I tell people all the time, listen to what your body is saying. And when you go outside, we can just get rid of all the busyness of our world and just tune into the frequency of the earth, listen to the messages. And to me, that helps me shift into my body,
Yeah.
so it's a cohesion that happens when I go out there and just be in that moment. And part of the spiritual path is that the more you open up, the more you do feel connected with every living thing. And you won't even touch a leaf without honoring it, right? And
Yeah.
walking past a tree and saying thank you. So even tuning into, if you put your hands on a tree, right, and just root into, people can do that too, and just tap into how your body feels, and even try to merge with the tree, merge with the ground and the earth.
Yeah. Thank you, Jean. Thank you,
Yeah.
Eugene. Wonderful. Eugene says, wonderful. I'll have to catch the rest on replay. Just wonderful.
Thank you for joining, friend.
So to end this, Jen, it's been, we could be on here for hours,
Yeah.
talking about this. I just feel like there's so much.
There's so much.
So when life gets last question,
Sure.
when life gets so overwhelmed, how do you stay in the present moment?
I have my tools. We all have our toolbox, right?
Yeah, but what's that one thing for you that you turn to regularly that is probably your dominant tool that keeps you really present?
Again, I'd have to say going into nature.
Yeah.
It makes my soul so happy and peaceful. It just brings me back down. We go through all these energetic shifts, and we're assimilating all the frequencies, and our bodies are going through all of different changes through that process. I honestly will lay down on the ground almost every day in my front yard. I know my neighbors probably think I'm crazy, but if I go into the city, I find a patch of grass, take my shoes off, and put my feet on the ground.
Yeah.
My feet will actually start to hurt after a while when I have shoes on. So
Yeah.
that's when I know it's like, hey, go outside and ground. But yeah, that's with all the changing worlds, and when COVID started happening, and people were all discombobulated and just really in a bad place, my message was every day, go out, put your hand on a tree, or literally lay down. There were times when I was going through my awakening process, and you can feel all your chakras and your energy feel like spinning.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
uncomfortable.
Yes.
Right. And like electric through your body. I would go out and put my third eye on a tree. I mean, I don't
Oh,
care
I like that.
how that
I usually do the heart on the tree, but I didn't really think about the third eye. Yeah, that's a great idea.
when your third eye is opening and you're having anxiety and you're so uncomfortable as you're shifting in your light body. Yeah, that was it's a big tip for people, but without, if they're feeling uncomfortable, doing that, simply honestly laying with your heart on the ground, face down, and then flipping over is a great tool with these energies to keep yourself in the present moment and in your body, but also connecting to the earth, at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Powerful.
So do you have any events to tell us about yeah, tell us if you have any events coming up and how can people find you?
Yeah. So we just had a really powerful shift with the summer solstice. So a lot of people have been out of sorts, I guess, let's just say, as their triggers have been coming up. So those are your shadows and your triggers, right? So those were coming.
Yeah.
Going outside to ground helped me greatly through that, recognizing it, pausing, recognizing where these triggers are coming from, and then how to proceed. Then, and that was, obviously on the summer solstice. And then we have an incredible event tomorrow. I'm offering on Zoom. It's called the Celestial Event, the Big Five, because there's 5 planets that are going to be visible in the night sky. So that's Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. So we are all integrating all of those energies, right?
Oh my gosh. I don't know about you. I know, I think you and I discussed this earlier, but yeah. I'm just like, I'm doing everything I can to just,
yeah.
I've had to walk. Yeah, everything. Just like you said, getting in nature, get your feet in there. Just before this interview, I felt like another wave. I'm like, oh, I need to go sit down, put my tailbone on the earth, and
I do a lot of connecting to the Earth Star crystal. That the Earth Star. So that just setting that intention of going down into the Earth Star helps me with this. But this event tomorrow night, 7:00 on Zoom, we're going to get activated with each one of these planets through the chakra system. So that is going to be a pretty big, powerful shift for people, and to really anchor down the healing attributes of each one of these planets. So I'm very excited about this. I know it's really, the big five. 5 is change. 5 is about stepping into your power. So here we are, we have this big cosmic celestial event where all of these frequencies are coming into our bodies. Yeah.
I can feel you just talk about it and just like activating
me. Start to float away. Yeah. I mean, and that's where we go back with what you were saying, like the tools and the tips of grounding outside, laying outside, just connecting and being present will help you through these, massive energetic, shifts. And then I'm going to have next month, the dragon energy is coming in for July. Yes, I'm so excited.
My birthday month.
That's
awesome.
Right. I was saying that. Oh my God. So you're all about the dragons too. I love the dragon frequency. I've had many initiation with the dragons, and they're coming in for the portal on 7/7, but I'm not doing an event on 7/7 with the dragons. They're having me wait until the supermoon, because this supermoon is going to be the one that's closest to the earth for all of the supermoons that we're having this year. And we're going to be working with the Lyran dragons, because the light of the prism of Lyra. So
I love Lyrans. Lyrans are so warming.
My daughter's a Lyran. She actually named her cat Lyra.
Yeah, I've had obviously many experiences with Lyrans. I love them.
Yeah. So many powerful events to help you expand into your energy field, your multidimensionality, and always centered in the avenue of the heart, on the avenue of the heart. So yeah, we got to really, and then of course we're going to have, you know, the 8-8 portal. So this is,
I'm already feeling that one. It's like already here.
it is already
It's like, wow, this is early.
You know what? That's interesting because I've been aware of that. Yeah, because usually that building up to it, my relationship gets a little rocky.
Yes.
It's I've even joked with my husband because almost every, like literally since we've gotten together, we've almost gotten separated, or we're at the most separate between ourselves, and then we come back together.
Come back together, right? It's so interesting.
Expansive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this summer is going to be powerful.
So to get all your information, how can people find you?
Sure. Well, I'll be on here under Jen Post 333. I am on Facebook under Jen Beldy Post. That's Beldy Post, POST. And of course, my website, which is www.mind, body, and spirit 3, the number 3. So mind, body, and spirit 3 at AOL. Old school.
Beautiful, beautiful. So everybody, let's give kudos and lots of divine love, heart love to Jen Post for sharing her beautiful, beautiful information with us, and get in touch with her. She has some beautiful events which I've attended, and amazing, amazing skills. So I hope you all enjoyed this speaking of Spirit Speaks, and until next time, bye for now. I am J Rose. You can find me at J Rose Healing. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you.
Bye.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Love you too.
Namaste.